For me, health is like a state of mind of being free from any illness or anything from the, thinking. That is health.
Yeah.
It's a state of mind. Yeah.
Anyone else?
Health is just you are just relax your mind physically, mentally. Relax your mind.
Yeah. That's excellent, actually, because there is a definition of health, and that's the World Health Organization, as I'm sure many of you would have heard of. And it is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. So it's not just about your physical health. There's also mental health and there's social well-being. It's not just about not having an illness or not having a disease. It's also, like you say, a state of mind and a lot of other things. And if you look at this little circle, you as an individual are in the middle, and there is your body, your mind, and your spirit. And some of these things you can control and influence by, for example, your personal behavior, your lifestyle, some control of your physical environment where you live and work. But there is as well people that surround you, like family that affect your health, your community in general, so people around you where you live and so on, and also the culture that you function within, so it's not the country you're in, the way you are being treated, especially as women, the access to healthcare that you have, especially as women and mothers and your children and so on. So these things are all determining health. So it's not just about you, and it's not just about your body. There's plenty of other things to health. And like I said, some of these things you can... Hello, Anna. Hello, Anna. Good morning. Okay, I'll just continue maybe. I don't know whether, Anna, can you hear us?
Yes.
Good stuff. So some of these things you can control, some of your physical environment you can control, some of your personal behavior you can control, and we're going to focus on these things essentially. Now today we're going to talk about your body and your personal behavior, but in another session we'll talk about your mind and about your spirit as well. So health is dynamic. It's not like you always have it, and it's not like you never have it. You sometimes have it more and better, sometimes a bit less. And that's where you need to sort of know how to identify that and how to do something to improve it. Being healthy means that you are able to keep balance, you are able to handle stress, you are able to learn new skills, and you are able to have good relationships. And that all means that these are tools for resilience and for you to be capable of independent living. Now, obviously, independent living doesn't mean you are on your own. The community is incredibly important. Having a connection is incredibly important. But you being able to function in a new environment and handle that new environment and learn to live in a new environment, that's all an incredibly important part of resilience as well. Do you have any questions up to now?
Oh, it's quite clear here.
Good stuff. Like I said, today we're going to focus on your body and your personal behavior. So how do you look after yourselves? What do you do to look after yourselves?
Can I say?
Yes.
Yeah. So look after ourselves, like for me, I especially look after for my diet. And then, because for me, the quality of life is a food. So you need to keep an eye on your diet and everything. So
diet is incredibly important for your health. Yes, for your physical health. Anyone else?
Just is nowadays, as everyone is very, very busy, they don't have to time, it's the same, like look at to me, is sometime I'm not drink water on time, is because of no water drink on time, I have a problem with kidney, and I have a whole holidays spent just is going to the doctor, GP, emergency hospital, but they are not doing anything else. That's the thing. When you are careless about yourself, you are is very, very high risk. You take is very high risk.
Yes, you need to look after yourself, that's for sure. Yeah. And drinking water is also very important for many reasons, which we'll go through later on as well. Anything else other than diet and drinking water?
Yeah, I think. Hello. Yeah, sorry. According to me, it's not only just for diet and just like this. I think is our emotional, our mental health. So if we have some difficulties and negative points, and we can face them very strongly, I think is very good, and is not impact in any bad impact in your health. in your physical and in your mental health. If you physically is strong and you mentally not strong, I think is just like happen on your mental diseases going in your body. So it doesn't work. If you mentally strong, so you can handle most of the things.
That's correct. Yeah, so
that's good.
Physical health is important, but mental and emotional health is also.
Yeah, thank you.
I really appreciate with Aisha. Aisha is saying is a very correct word.
Yes.
Thank you, Satya.
Thank you. So yes. So how do we look after ourselves? So we look after ourselves by having a balanced diet, by exercising, by having good sleep, or at least trying to have good sleep. Is not always that easy as well. No smoking. Smoking is universally considered banned. There's no doubt about that. It causes a lot of diseases, and there is a lot of bans on smoking, obviously, in public places and so on. And obviously alcohol as well. Alcohol is a bit more controversial or different in approach to smoking. There are limits to alcohol. So what we consider that drinking a limited amount of alcohol, you limit the damage, but there is more and more recognition that drinking any alcohol is very damaging to health. And it causes heart problems, it causes strokes, it causes a lot of cancers as well. So there are some limits to drinking alcohol as well. But what we're going to focus on today is diet, exercise, and some sleep. And then I'll talk to you as well about what services are out there available to you, so you can actually look out for certain illnesses, like, for example, cancer, and infections like vaccinations as well. So who has a balanced diet? Do you guys have a balanced diet? And what is a balanced diet?
Sorry, I want to ask a question.
Please do.
Yeah. We know smoking is bad and is, can only affect our health adversely.
Correct.
And but sometimes I get it mixed up when I see vaping, and people try to convince me it's flavor, it's just just catching fun and all that. I don't know how medical people recognize the vaping.
Yeah, so vaping is, again, it's controversial, and we don't know the full effect of vaping yet, because it's quite new, and a lot of conditions to develop many years later on. I think, Anna, you're not muted, and there's quite a lot of noise around you. Would you mind muting yourself?
Okay, it's my son.
No, it's Anna, I think, not yourself. No. Chico, are you okay muting Anna maybe? Or?
Okay, I'm with you.
For some reason, Anna's video cannot be muted by me. So Anna, if you can hear us, can you please mute yourself? Yeah, I don't know why I can't mute her.
Yeah.
That's very...
Anyway, let's try. I mean, can you hear me well? Because I had a moment where there was a lot of noise.
Just carry on. I'm going to give her a ring.
That's fine, thank you. So vaping, like I said, sorry, it's controversial. Like, we don't know full effect of that because it's fairly new. But initially, when it came out, it was recommended when people wanted to stop smoking, because it's considered less harmful than smoking cigarettes, but it's not without harm. So we actually know that in people who smoke who vape for many years, they can still develop some lung disease. So I would say, if you're not a smoker and you want to just start vaping for fun, then I would definitely not recommend that. Is that okay? Good stuff. Any other questions so far? Okay.
Okay, guys, so I've muted all of you, and if you want to speak, just unmute yourself, just so that we're able to hear what Magda is saying. It's not because we want to silence you. We just need to make sure that we can hear Magda, and then if you want to say something, unmute yourself, and also you can use the raise hand emoji.
So I think before that vaping, we were just asking who has a balanced diet. You can just put your hands up, or you can say me or no, or you can unmute yourself and say.
So yeah, I try to do that always. Yeah. I try to get balanced diet, and I try to look after my mental health as well. Good. As Piku says always, that stay away from negative places and negative people. So yeah, I do. I try my best to do these things.
Good. Yeah. Is it easy to have a balanced diet?
No, it's not. Especially when you are from the background of Pakistani or Asian community, it's very hard to go with the balanced diet. But at least you can try.
Of course, yeah. Why do you think it's difficult? Do you think it's more difficult?
Because you know, our food, it's like we use so much oil and thingies like that. The food process is very, you know, fatty and oily thingies and these type of things. So it's very, very hard to keep away from that food. But at least you can try.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone else wants to share? What do you do to have a balanced diet, or do you think you have a balance? Hi, Taya. Can you hear us, Taya?
Did you have any chart of balanced diet?
Yes, I'm going to show you now. So this is basically what is recommended. Okay, so it's like a pie chart, just telling you how much of each sort of ingredient or a food group you should be having with meals. So if you think of it as a whole day, so 30%, so 1/3 should be these yellow groups. And this is a starchy type of food. This is something you should be basing your meals on. So your meal should be based on either potatoes or grains or rice or pasta, bread, and so on. So that's 30% of your plate, so to say. Yeah. And if you use the whole grain stuff, the brown bread, the brown rice, the brown pasta, it's better than the white one because it doesn't give you a fast sugar rush. And you might not feel so tired and sleepy after a meal. You know, that nap after you want to have after a meal. If you eat more brown foods, you probably feel less like this. It won't make you sluggish and sleepy. So that's 30% of your plate. The other 30% should be fruits and vegetables. So again, quite a big group. Now, what do you think? Can you use, what is better, tinned or fresh fruit or canned or frozen? What is better?
Better, honestly, fresh fruit, not the canned one. Canned one, they are just they are sealed long time, and it's not, I think, if you need, and if it's very expensive, is a sometime thing is very expensive. You can use it, but it is fresh, obviously, is good.
What about fresh or frozen?
Fresh is okay. Frozen is same like container.
Correct. So frozen actually is the same nutritional value as fresh. So don't be discouraged, so to say, because freezing fresh food actually keeps the vitamins and nutrients, so you can still use it, and it might actually be a little bit cheaper to buy frozen fruit, for example. But also, if you find, for example, some big packs that are discounted and so on, you can easily freeze it as well from fresh and keep it for later on. So that's the way of sort of again having a good access to fruit and vegetables. How many pieces of fruit and vegetables do you think we should be eating a day?
5.
5 a day, yes. So you've all heard about that? I think Shams, I don't know
they have a mute, that's why they are not speaking.
I think Shams, I could see you moving your lips, but I can't hear you.
I was muted. So I think it's a rule of 4. You have to 4 like vegetables or fruits in your diet a day.
So it's 5 a day actually.
5 a day. Okay, yeah.
It's 5 a day of any type, So like I said, it's any type. It's fresh, it's frozen, it's even dry fruit if you like dry fruit, like raisins or dry, like I think peaches or something like that. So whatever you like. Now there is this pink group of food which is a source of protein, like the lentils, the chicken, the beans, tuna, and so on. So fish is very healthy. The recommendation is to aim for fish 1 to twice a week. Now, it's obviously a little bit more expensive depending on what fish you buy. But again, buying frozen fish, it's also fine. So it doesn't have to be a fresh fish. And that's a little bit more accessible, I think. In terms of red meat, like, for example, beef and lamb, there is more and more recognition that actually it's not that healthy. And you shouldn't be eating more than twice a week as well. And even there is sort of a guidance that even maybe less than twice a week. There is some evidence that if you eat too much red meat, you're more likely to have certain diseases, like, for example, heart disease and even bowel cancer, for example. So there's more and more advice to move away from red meats. An incredibly good source of protein that you can use instead of meat is beans and chickpeas and lentils. They are like superfoods, and a lot of places around the world, the diet is based a lot on beans and lentils and so on for availability, but it's incredibly protein rich. So don't feel like you're missing out on protein if you're not having, for example, chicken, but having a kind of bean for your breakfast or dinner is good enough. Any questions on that?
No, that's clear.
Thank you. And then, so that should be about 15% of your meals in a day. Then there is dairy products and things like, for example, soya, which should be part of your diet as well. That has got a lot of vitamins and minerals and also calcium to keep your bones healthy. And a very small proportion of your food should be vegetable oil and low-fat spread. And I think that goes back to what Shamsa says, that it's hard sometimes because a lot of cuisines around the world are quite oily or quite fatty, isn't it? But it is trying to limit that use and trying to use some alternatives that are perhaps a little bit healthy and looking out for like low-fat spreads and so on. Happy with that, or do you want to go through it again in some ways? I'll take that. Happy. Yeah. Okay. So 5 a day. That's the amount of fruit and veg you should be eating in a day. Again, it's good source of vitamins, and fresh and frozen and thin, dried, or even juices are absolutely fine. So having some raisins is your portion. Using canned tomatoes, for example, for your stews, that's definitely a portion. Having an apple, that's a portion. Sorry, what is a portion? So basically, a banana, fruit of size of a banana, orange, or a pear, that's one portion. If you've got something smaller than you do in terms of tablespoons, so for example 3 tablespoons of beans or vegetables, that's a portion, and 1 tablespoon of dried fruit is a portion. So it's less, so this is 1 and this is 3, because dried fruit is actually heavily packed with vitamins and so on. Very nutritious source of vitamins and so on. Is that okay? Do you know how to count your portions?
Yeah.
Okay. Water, how many should we drink? So that's for Sadia, I think, isn't it? Because you were saying that you perhaps don't drink enough, but actually you should be drinking 6 to 8 glasses of liquids in a day. Now, water is probably the best, and we are incredibly lucky in this country because clean water is available from the tap, so it's for free as such, like you don't have to buy it. Obviously you pay for water coming out of your tap, but otherwise there's no cost additionally to that. But also your cups of tea and even your coffee and soups, that also counts as liquid in your diet. Is that okay?
Can you tell me, is the tap water is okay? Some people is buying the, as the Tesco water. What's the difference between the tap water and the normal water one?
I think just price.
Just price.
Yeah, I think this country has got clean water essentially from the tap. So I drink a tap water. I never buy water in the supermarket. I don't see the need. There's no additional value in the water that you buy in bottles. Now, if you feel worried about it, because there is a lot of people who, for example, don't feel comfortable drinking straight from a tap, what you could boil, for example, a full kettle and leave it overnight, and then the next day you've got fresh, cool, boiled water. That, if you were worried about some I don't know, dirty stuff in the water, then you can always clean it this way.
No, it's always clean. I don't know which word I use it actually. I make sure. Sorry, I want to make sure it. I know that the water is clean, but I want to make sure because you are the doctor. You give me best suggestion.
Yeah, no, honestly, like I said, we are very lucky in this country because the water from the tap is drinkable, which is good. And the water in the bottles have got no extra vitamins or anything like that. So you're just spending money.
People, sometimes I see someone house, they are just buying, they are just preference about the water bottle. And sometimes I'm thinking why the people is stock lots of water in their house. And sometimes I'm thinking, I don't know why they are, but I listened before, I think is a 1 or 2 year before, one of the doctors came in the school and he as well is tell the people the water is clean.
Yeah, definitely fine to drink. So sorry, 2 hands up. Jessica, you have your hand up. I thought this is from your last time, or did you have another question, please?
No, it's okay. Thank you.
Hello. For the issue of water,
Yeah.
I just want to clarify. I hope there's no excess in drinking water, because like for me, my life practically depends on water.
Yeah.
So I just want to clarify that aspect. Because of my health issue anyway. It's not like I love drinking water. In fact, I grew up not liking water. I don't like water at all. I could take a big loaf of bread without even taking water. But at the point when I had to deal with this medical issue, I had to be on water, to get my urine to an extent that the pain will be, reduced in a way. Because once I have much concentrated urine and my urine is turning, like a brownish, then I have a problem. So I'm going to deal with a lot of pain. So it reduces the level of my pain in a way. So I take lot of water, either I like it or not. So I just want to clarify that. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't like, have you tried like putting fruit or something in your bottle of water? Some lemon, some grapefruit, sometimes anything that you have.
Yeah, I do. I do that sometimes. I cut some lemon and cucumber and ginger, but not all the time I have the patience to do that. So sometimes I just ride with my water just like that.
Yeah, no, that's the right
so
thing.
I just want to know. I hope there's no excess, because I take, even when I'm sleeping, I have to. So like, I wouldn't say I'm having sound sleep. So that's one of the things that give me, difficulty sometimes. Made me think and worry. Because when I'm supposed to sleep, when you take a lot of fluid, you tend to go to use the restroom like often. So sometimes I go like as much as 6-7 times. So annoying.
Yeah. So try not to drink like 2 hours before you go to bed.
Oh, you want to make my condition worse? No, I can't try that.
Can you tell me?
It's not good.
Sorry.
You don't understand. I don't understand what I'm going through. I just want to clear the aspect of taking that water. I hope it's okay. It's not bad.
It's more than fine. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Aisha, you have your hand up as well.
Yes. I also saw lots of the sprinkle water and some flavor water. So what about that? So that is not healthy. So if we just like take sprinkle water rather than that one, it's just like same or just like more than dangerous?
So sparkling water is fine as well. It's just water. It can, it's just like the gas is not harmful at all, but obviously you need to buy it bottled, so that's going to be an extra cost. It can, as a side effect, give you a little bit of like burping or gas if you're struggling with that. Sparkling water might make it a little bit worse, but all in all, it's nothing too bad. In terms of the flavored water, I would be a little bit careful because sometimes they contain some sugar, which is completely unnecessary in water. So if you are looking at flavored water, then have a look at the sugar content, because it can be there shouldn't be any sugar in the water, should they? So if you see a sugar content, then I would think about it twice.
Okay. And you also asked if you just like take a soup. If we take a soup. So it's just like if we take 6 to 8 a day, in a day, so we take a water 6 to 8 glasses. So if we just like take 6 glasses and then they have just like rather than we just have a soup, so that just like container is same or just like different amount, or we just like take definitely 6 to 8 glass of water.
Yeah, so 6 to 8 so with drinks in a day. It's not necessarily has to be water. Water is probably the best because it doesn't contain sugar or any extra calories. What I would avoid is definitely like fizzy drink, like Coke and Pepsi and all that stuff, because that's very unhealthy. Juice, you can have juice, but I wouldn't drink more than a glass a day, because again, it has a lot of sugar in it, even if you make it fresh. And then cups of tea are fine. To hydrate yourself as well, so you can have cups of tea as well, and like I said, soup as well, so the same amount. If you like have a bowl of soup, that counts as well.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Yes, please, doctor. I want to ask if someone is taking coffee all the time, does it have any side effects?
So that's a good question, actually. So a lot of people think that coffee dehydrates you and makes you go to the toilet often. I think you would have to drink more than 5 or 6 cups of coffee for that to happen. If you drink 1 or 2 in a day, that's fine. Now, coffee can make you feel a little bit agitated if you are sensitive, and can make you like stop you from sleeping well if you take it late at night as well. So that's the only side effect. But other than that, coffee is not a bad drink at all.
Because before I doesn't take it, so as I started taking it, the thing I want to become addicted of it. just the aroma of it, I can't just leave it. If I'm not taking it a day, I won't be myself. So I was just thinking, I said, this coffee, I hope it's not going to have any side effects.
No. I mean, yeah, I think 1 to 2 cups a day is more than fine. Just don't drink 10 cups. And you'll definitely not sleep.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome. Is that all clear about diets, or do you have any other questions?
No, it's okay.
Lovely, thank you. Oh, my computer isn't working. Oh, there you go. So we're moving on to exercise. Who exercises, by the way? Raise your hand up, or no one? No one exercises?
I always do walking all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes if I do walk, I will be feeling pain on my tummy for the place I have a surgery.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that makes it a little bit more difficult sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. That is the only thing I can do now, because I can't lift too hard thing up. Or
yeah.
So yeah.
Jessica, you have your hand up?
I do few exercise, but I'm so limited to what I really want to do. Like I like jogging, I like jogging a lot, but I can't do it for long because of my health condition.
Yeah.
In fact, I just need someone to talk to me, because sometimes I just feel, is there any way I can, go about it? Anything squatting, anything, jogging, whatever that can give me some kind of pressure reaction below becomes a very big problem for me. So I can't really do that for long. Like yesterday, I still remember I was trying to catch up a bus and I was like, God, I even felt like crying because I really wished to, but I couldn't, because my pain keep like, striking me, and giving me that signal. I had to deal with it myself. Nobody's going to understand how I feel. So I had to slow down, and I watched the bus just, passing me by. So it can be so sad sometimes. But I try to do the little I can anyway.
Yeah. Yes, unfortunately, like if you have some health conditions, sometimes it might be difficult to find the right exercise for you. But it's a matter of trying and listening to your body as well. And if it's painful, then you stop like you do. But thank you for sharing, Jessica. Aisha, you have your hand up. Is that from before, or did you want to share?
It's just from before.
From before, okay. Okay, so why should we exercise then? Or should we not?
Yeah, definitely we should do exercise to maintain our body and to maintain our health. It's not for like the becoming smart or like thing, but it's very important for your health.
Yes, and so how does it improve your health? What type of health does it improve? Do you know?
Yeah, it can improve your health overall, like your heart health. It's very necessary for your mental health as well. Sometimes you go out, sometimes you do something like you do yoga, you do this type of thing. It's very beneficial for your body organs. So yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. So I'm glad you mentioned mental health, because it's very important for your mental health as well. Taya, you have your hand up?
Is Maureen?
Yeah, go on.
Exercise is good, especially if someone is getting big. Doing exercise, it can make you trim down. Because sometimes when you are sitting in one place, you are not doing anything, it will be a problem, difficult. Sometimes you'll be feeling pain on your leg. Even to raise your leg is problem. But when you are doing exercise, everything will be light. It will make your body trim down, and it will still help the health condition and the mental condition too.
Yes, so that's for weight loss you're talking, and for weight loss and for your mental health as well. That's very good, thank you. Again, Tayo, I think your hand is up.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I feel like exercise helps you in pumping the heart.
Yes,
it helps a lot, yeah. And there are sometimes, because I go to the gym a lot and I lift weight. And if you do all those kind of strenuous exercise, it makes you realize if you're healthy or not. Because there are some certain things you're gonna lift at the gym. If you can't lift them, then you know if you're healthy or not.
Yes, so that's some indication of how much you can do, and also shows you how you can develop with time and improve and get stronger. That's also very satisfying, isn't it, with time, when you see progress, isn't it?
Yes.
Where do you go to the gym?
JD Gym, very close to the house.
Yeah. Very nice.
Yes.
Thank you, Tayo. Anyone else want to share what they do for exercise? Okay, so let's move on. So basically, our everyday life, it's a modern lifestyle, isn't it? And unfortunately, that means that we're becoming less and less active, and we're spending a lot of time in front of TVs with our phones and computers and driving and so on. So it has been recognized that actually being inactive, it's a silent killer of our times, and it's contributing to so many diseases that it's really important to do at least a little bit, and doing a bit is better than doing nothing. This is basically just to show you that exercising improves your health, like you've told me already. It actually improves your sleep. It releases happiness hormones, so it reduces your stress over time and improves your quality of life. And like Maureen's mentioned, it helps you maintain a healthy weight. Now, in terms of specific diseases, it can actually reduce your chances of having diabetes by nearly 40%, so nearly halving your chances of having diabetes. That's huge, you know. And diabetes is probably one of the most common diseases of our time. There's hundreds of millions of people who have diabetes, and it's a long-term condition, so it's for life almost, you know. It obviously reduces the risk of having heart problems. It reduces chances of you having depressions by nearly 30%. It improves your joints and back pain and improves your balance, so you're less likely to fall, especially when people are getting older and older, then the risk of falls are getting higher. So exercising and having good muscle strength and good balance reduces your chances of having a fall and breaking your bones. It actually reduces your risk of having cancer by 20%. And especially for women, breast cancer is one of the commonest cancers in women. So reducing your chances of developing that by 20% is also incredibly important and valuable. Now, doing some exercise is good, and it's definitely better than doing nothing. And the more you do, the better. Now, the sooner you start, basically, the better. And whatever you do, it's more than fine. Any comments on that?
Sorry, can I talk? It is just going to the gym, or you are going the park, or like this, or just walk?
So anything is fine, Sadia. So gym is not necessary. If you don't want to, or you don't like gym, then doing just walking is more than fine. And I'll show you some resources and what you could do at home and some apps and so on, how you could improve. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Now, there's always a question, how much should I exercise? And what is an exercise and what is just a walk in the park? So essentially what you should be doing is 150 minutes in a week. So that is around 2.5 hours in a week. So going for a walk, half an hour, 5 times a week is more than fine. It's enough for the basic requirement. Okay, and you should be able to walk quite briskly. So that means you should be feeling warm. You should be feeling that your breathing is going up, but you should still be able to talk. If you're doing something more vigorous, like for example, Taya goes to gym quite a lot, so doing 75 minutes per week is enough. Obviously, you can do more if you want to, and if that's what you like. But doing more vigorous intensity, that means that your breathing is really fast and you're actually struggling to talk, and that's how you recognize that your exercise is quite intense. Does that make sense?
No, can you repeat it again, please?
Yes, please. Yes, of course. So if you're doing a usual type of exercise, like for example, walking or cycling, then doing 2.5 hours in a week. So you can do half an hour every day or half an hour 5 times a week. That's enough. So half an hour walking Monday to Friday, for example, it's more than
every day, not one day.
No, 5 times a week.
Okay.
Half an hour. Yeah. 30 minutes, 5 times a week. You can take your children to school and walk quite fast and do a little stroll around your block to complete 30 minutes if you want, and so on. If you do something more intense, like for example, fast cycling or jogging or gym exercise and lifting weights, then doing an hour and a half or just 75 minutes in a week, it's more than fine. So that's probably about half an hour 3 times a week. Is that better, Sadia?
It's the same thing if you are going to the walk, going to the park, and same is if you are doing is a gym. Just is a time difference.
So yes, so the time difference. So if you do something more intense like running and gym, then you don't need to do that much. But if you're going for a walk and, for example, a slow cycle, then you need to do a little bit more.
Sometimes weather is not good. It is good if you are doing at home some exercise, or you are must go outside.
No, it's more than fine to do at home. And I'll show you later on some links to different websites and resources that you can have a look to follow at home as well.
Okay, thank you.
Now, being sedentary, which means basically sitting around a lot, it's good to break it up. So take a break essentially after half an hour or so. So if I work, for example, in front of the computer most of the day, every half an hour to an hour, I stand up, stretch my legs, stretch my back, straighten my back, go downstairs and so on. You need to move a little bit, and that's also very beneficial. Any questions? Aisha, you still have your hand up. Is that from before?
Yeah, it's for before. I don't know why it's not come down. Yeah, it's before.
Okay, that's fine. I think there is where when you put your hand up, you can press the same button and it will take the hand down if you want to.
It's lower now.
Yeah, it's down. Yeah, thank you. So that's your activity and how much exercise you should be doing. Now, how do you start? The best way of doing it is make it the part of your everyday life. So taking a walk, taking your kids to school, going to the shop, walking instead of, for example, driving if you're not making a big shopping and you can take it back, and so on. Cycling if you cycle or so on. So doing something that is part of your everyday life will mean that it's easier for you to complete. And like I said before, you aim for 2 to 2.5 hours in a week. So you can split it. Obviously, it's better to split it into shorter times more often. And what you need to be looking out for is to feel your heart rate is going a little bit faster, your breathing is going a bit faster, and you need to start feeling warm. And that's when you know that you're walking at the right pace, for example. Is that clear?
Sorry, the last one you said, if someone is walking, then you are feeling your breathing, you are feeling, can you come again that one, please? Can you repeat that one again, please?
Yeah, so when you walk, you need to walk fairly fast, to the degree that you feel your heart rate is going a little bit faster than normal, and then you feel your breathing going a bit faster, and you start feeling warm. That means you're walking fast enough for it to be counted as exercise. And a practical way of doing is, if you, for example, go with a friend, or even if you go on your own and you want to try it, you should be able to talk, but you shouldn't be able to sing. Does that make sense? Because to sing is you're too breathless to sing. Does that make sense? Or not really?
Because sometimes if I'm walking, then if I'm walking, then my phone ring. When I'm talking, the way I will be breathing, the person will be asking me, "Are you okay? Are you all right?" So I don't know. Is it okay? Like, is it normal like that?
Yes, that means you're doing good exercise.
Okay, thank you.
You should be feeling a bit breathless for it to count as exercise and for it to be effective. Anyone else? Yes, Jessica?
I wish to ask again, because sometimes because of the nature of my body, I even find it difficult to eat the way I'm supposed to be eating. But I take lots of water. Then I should be having some reduction in my weight. Or does water add to weight? Does it make someone grow fat?
Water shouldn't, because water has no calories, so it shouldn't make you gain weight. I wouldn't think that's water, in all honesty.
Okay.
Unless you have some swelling, for example. If you have some swelling on your legs and so on, then that means there's maybe some water retention in your body, and then that might be an issue, for example. I don't know, you know?
Okay.
But if there isn't any swelling on your legs and so on, then I wouldn't think it's water, no.
No, okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. So you've been asking us over where to... yeah, Taya, sorry, before we move on, Taya, raise a hand. Was that a mistake, Taya? Okay, so a few of you are asking, so where to exercise? Do we need to go out? Do we need to go to the gym and so on? And the honest answer is no, you don't. You can do it anywhere, and home is good enough. You know, you don't need to go to a gym, and you don't need to buy any expensive equipment. And there's plenty of things online that you could use that are for free that will help you sort of stick to a schedule, for example, or have some variety so that you don't get bored and things are easier. How to stay motivated, just make it a habit. If you go out for a walk, try to listen to some music, join a group or make a group. If you've got friends around, just take them out for a walk for half an hour. It shouldn't be a problem. And sometimes just mix it up. If you're taking your kids to school one way, just go back home the other way, discover your area, go around the block and so on. Any other tips on how to stay motivated? Do you guys have any tips? Anyone?
Any must you are taking the weightlifting, or you are just walk is okay?
Walking is more than fine, Sadia. If you like walking, then that's fine.
No problem if you are not want to doing weightlifting, yeah?
Not at all, no.
Okay.
Oh, Chico raised her
hand. Yeah, I just wanted to say that obviously with exercising, we all know that for many, it's the difficulty is staying motivated. And I think the most important thing to do is make sure you have a friend or somebody who can encourage you, or you can do it together. Even if you wanted to do it in the group, then tell us in the group, and we can even have an exercise session like this on Zoom together. If you find it really hard to motivate yourself, we can just say, okay, on Monday at 10, we're going to do an exercise on Zoom together. And you don't have to have your camera on, just to know that there's other people and who are pushing you to exercise, because we've seen from Magda's slide how important exercise is, not just for your physical health to avoid diseases and sicknesses, but also for your mental health. Whenever you finish an exercise session, you feel very good because that happy hormone is released in your body and you feel so positive. Even though when you were starting, you were just, oh my, do I have to do this? By the time you finish, you feel much better. If you don't want to go walking, dance. I think everyone in this group loves to dance. Just send a message and say, does anyone want to do a dance session, an exercise with me? And you know, I'm happy to join in. I need to shape up. So if you send a message and say, Shiko, are you available? Do you want to do an exercise session on Zoom? I'm gonna join you because I also need the motivation from my friends.
That's really great, Chico, actually. And it's a great idea, actually. If you're like, I'll join your session as well, especially if you're dancing and you can teach me some your dance moves, then I'll be there.
only if you teach us yours.
That's fine. So yeah, so that's a great point. Like having someone to motivate you and the friends to do it together, it's amazing, actually. So yes. Please reach out. And if you've got ideas how to, you know, help others in this group stay active or start being active, then also share. Any other points?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Thank you, Sadia. Okay, so moving on. I was looking sort of at what is out there online that you can access for free, and actually there's quite a lot. So this is obviously being recorded, but also take a picture if you want and check out this links, the website. These are all NHS websites, and they have some exercise videos or some plans that you can do, for example, over 12 weeks or so, and they're all for free. So that gives you some sort of a structure to your exercise. Chico, is that another hand or is that from before?
Yeah, that's another hand. Guys, I would like to recommend the Couch to 5K app. I've actually done it and I lost 10 kilos. So if you want to do, it involves, you start with walking and then you slowly, it helps you to build up to running. And I know it sounds like running, when you hear running, you think, oh my God, but it really helps you slowly get better and better. So you don't even notice you're running because you first start with walking, and then you walk for 1 minute and run for 30 seconds. And over 12 weeks, it just helps you get better and better. And by the end of the, it's actually not 12 weeks, it's 8 weeks. By the end, is it? Yeah, I think it's 8 weeks.
It's 10. I think it's 10 from what I remember,
yeah. By the end of it, you're running and you'll be so proud of yourself, because in the forum, I mean, everybody that was starting thought that they could never run for 30 minutes. So by the end of it, you'll feel so proud of yourself. you have built your efficacy. I think the old members of the group, 4Wings group, remember self-efficacy is the belief that you can achieve a goal. So if you do this and finish it, then your self-efficacy is improved. And when your self-efficacy is improved, then your resilience is also improved because it means you didn't give up. So even just doing exercise can help you build resilience because you're not giving up. You keep going, and no matter how hard it is, you keep going. And that's what resilience is. So if anyone wants to try Couch to 5K, let me know. If you want to do it as a group, 4Wings group, let me know. We can also do it as a group from the office and go when the weather, of course, is better, not now. Go to the front at the water and do it along there, and we can all get healthy together. But let me know if you want to do this.
Thank you, Chico. Again, a great comment. So yes, I agree. Couch to 5K is a great app. So please look it up. They're all free resources. So it's not just the money is not an issue. So there is another app called Couch to Fitness, a website that you can check out as well with again a lot of resources and exercises that you can try. Now, whilst preparing for this, I've actually looked up this app 10 is also an app that tracks your walking. So I've downloaded it and actually I've achieved my goal today already. So that's actually quite cool. And app 10 actually doesn't collect any of your personal data other than your gender and your age. So you don't need an email address, you don't need to put your name or anything. It just tracks how much you walk in a day and shows you your progress as well. So it's actually quite cool, just to keep yourself again motivated and have some goals to achieve along the way. This Girl Can is it's like a it's a website essentially, and it's for women, exercise places for women of different kinds. And I've looked it up, but actually in Liverpool there isn't any available. The closest one is in West Kirby and in Northwich, if anyone is down that way. So there is some of exercise classes that are available for free there. Any questions about that? Or any comments?
That's a good thing. I think is just me spoke, not other person.
No, the others are your contributions, but thank you for your contribution. It's very good. But others are contributing as well. Thank you, guys. Anyone else wants to comment, or anyone who tried other things online or exercising at home?
I'm just thinking about the exercise. Exercise is good thing.
Yes.
Everything you explained me about the exercise, and I made a plan so many times, but Chico said to me, she's make a group. Let's see which time, which day.
Yeah, Sadia, if you're serious about it, I'm very happy because for me,
I
want
serious,
to do it.
It's good for health, you are just have to do in your life.
Yeah.
And guys, I think if we're going to do this group, I would also recommend, this is all from my personal experience, and it's about health. It's not always about losing weight. It's about feeling good and being healthy. So just remember that. And one other thing that has really helped me is yoga, because when you get to, I think, 40 plus, and I never thought I would say this, but I am, your joints, you start becoming like a machine that needs some oil. And yoga does that. And anytime I feel any pain in my joints, my knees or my hips, I do yoga. And within 3 to 4 days, all the creaking has gone and all the stiffness has gone. So I would say YouTube is a good tool. It can be good. Find some exercise videos. Try and include yoga in it for relaxing also your mind, but also oiling your body, just so that you're not like a creaky, rusty machine.
Yes, unfortunately this happens with age, I'm afraid, Chico, so yoga is very good, yes. If you're looking for yoga online, then I would recommend Yoga with Adrienne. She has got a lot of videos and it's very gentle, a lot of it, so you don't have to be very fit. It's very relaxing and I would really recommend that. Oh, there you go. So I've looked up what's available online, what's available locally as well, and there's plenty of gyms, as you know, and the cheapest one are from £15 a month, and there's obviously much more expensive ones. I currently don't have a gym to recommend because I don't go anywhere, although I feel like I should, but maybe Tayo could recommend somewhere that she's tried before. Oh, she's gone off the call? Oh. Now, there is also a GP referral scheme. So that's part of the local government trying to improve health. And essentially what it means, you can go to your GP practice and ask someone to be referred to a gym. It's a 12-week program. At induction, when you go there for the first time, you will have to pay £7.50. And you will see like a personal trainer there who can help you with setting out a plan. And then from then on, you can go and visit for £1 per visit. Now, whether you go or you don't go, and then that's up to you. Yes, Chico?
That's good information. Thank you.
You're welcome.
For the GP referral scheme, because we know a lot of you might be asylum seekers without a lot of free money to pay £7.50. So if you do really want to do this and you feel you will commit and you're an asylum seeker, just come and speak to me and we can pay this induction fee for you directly to the GP. If that's what you want to do, if you want to be going to the gym. But otherwise, like Magda has said, there's a lot of other ways you can exercise without spending money. But speak to us if you want to go the gym route.
Thank you.
I think it's better this one, leave the gym and join the people, because you are, me, everyone know each other, and they are just encourage you. It is good for your health. Which people you met in the gym, maybe they don't like to talk with you. That's the thing. You are going 1 or 2 days, very friendly, very funny, very happy. But after that, you are just leave the gym. It's my suggestion. I don't know.
I understand what you're saying. I mean, yes, not everyone feels comfortable in the gym, and that's okay. If that's not for you, there's no need. You know, like you say, there's plenty of other ways of getting healthy and having your friends around and people that motivate you and make you feel good rather than bad. So if gym is not for you, then that's absolutely fine. Any other questions, or shall we move on to sleep?
Magda.
Yeah.
How many more sections do you have? And I'm wondering if people want like a 2-minute break to go to the loo or grab some water or some tea or something.
Yeah, that's fine. So there's maybe 2 or 3 slides on sleep, very sort of basic ones, and how to improve that, and then sort of availability of health services. So I don't think we've got more than 15 minutes or 20 minutes, depending on how many questions we have. But I'm happy for a break.
I'm thinking carry on this one, finish, and after I think is just waiting for the children.
That's fine. What about others?
Yeah, I think we should finish now. Don't need to take break. Yeah.
It's fine. Let's finish and take a break once and for all. All right.
That's fine. Yeah. So sleep. Who sleeps well? Hands up.
Sorry, can you please?
Do you sleep well? Who sleeps well?
No, not me.
Okay, anyone else? Do you sleep well? Okay, it's not that easy, isn't it, sleeping well? But it's incredibly important to feel rested. And we know that if people don't sleep well and they're tired the next day, then they don't think that well, they don't process information very well, they're not as patient, they might become a bit more sort of impatient and angry sometimes, and that's mainly due to lack of sleep. And obviously having a lot of stressors and anxieties in life doesn't help you sleep. Do any of you have any strategies to help you fall asleep that you would like to share with the rest?
I think before you sleep, if you just like take some exercise, half an hour, and body makes you tired and might be getting help, because during the during the COVID, so I had a routine. I just make every day 30 miles walk. I think I don't know what is the exact name, but I just like doing exercise like 30 minutes. They on the YouTube, so I just and they just like make me tired, and after then I'm just like sleep very well. But now in these days, because I have issue, so so my sleep is not very good. Even I also take some sleeping aids, so it's very difficult.
So you used a very key word, and you said, I had a routine, and routine is incredibly important for good sleep.
Yeah.
And, and you obviously had a routine for exercise, but you said it's very quiet for our exercise talks. Okay, that's fine. Anyone else? Yeah, and you also, Aisha, said something important. You said now that you've got an issue, you don't sleep that well, and that's, again, that's very recognized, that if you've got something on your mind, and obviously you're not going to sleep well, it's not rocket science, isn't it? So what can you do to improve your sleep, or to at least try to sleep better? There is 4 pillars of good sleep. It's about your health. It's obviously eating well and exercising and so on. Then an environment, that means your bedroom should be quite dark and quiet. It's not necessarily always easy when you've got children, especially if they're young. And it should have a good temperature, so it shouldn't be too hot or too cold. And then obviously attitude, like you mentioned before, stress and anxiety. You can try relaxation techniques. Things like a glass of warm milk, sorry, not mild milk, helps you sleep. Who got a glass of warm milk when they were a child? Before bed.
Sorry, can you say again what you think before is, if you are not sleeping very well before, you are taking glass of milk?
Milk, yeah. Did any one of you, when you were children, or did you give your children a glass of milk before bed?
No. Yes, my daughter.
Yeah. So actually, it helps to sleep. So it's you know, I think that not many people are aware that it's scientific, but it is scientific. It's just what mothers do, isn't it? You give your child a glass of milk and they sleep better. So you can try it for yourself as well. I'm not sure whether many adults like a glass of warm milk, but if you're struggling, that might be a way. And lifestyle. So like you say, Aisha, exercise, yes, but it doesn't have to be a very vigorous exercise. It's more it's better to do like things like yoga or Pilates or something more relaxing and slow to settle yourself down before you go to bed. Now, you should avoid alcohol because even though some people feel alcohol makes you fall asleep faster, the quality of your sleep is actually really poor, so you wake up tired. And avoid caffeine, which means you avoid tea, coffee, and chocolate. If you didn't know, chocolate has caffeine and it's a stimulant, so having a lot of chocolate at night is not a good idea. Sadly. Okay, so to prepare for sleep, like you said, Aisha, before, you need to have a routine, or it's better to have a routine, like exercising before bed, something relaxing, or meditating, or having a warm bath, or putting a candle, whatever you like, and whatever is available to you, something that will relax you before you go to bed. Now, it's better to go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time, because your body will learn that, and it will be easier for you to fall asleep later on. And obviously, avoid caffeine, including chocolate, and avoid daytime naps if possible at all. So it's better not to sleep in the day. And if you do need to sleep, it shouldn't be longer than 20 minutes. Now, at bedtime, you should have a dark and quiet room. You should limit exposure to blue light, which means mobiles and computers and screens in general, iPads. Trying not to work in your bed, because your bed should be associated with sleep only rather than any other stuff. And like we said before, trying some relaxation and avoiding alcohol. If you can't fall asleep, you should just get up and do something relaxing, like whatever, meditating, or you can have a warm drink, or there's no point lying there in bed and rolling in bed and just getting annoyed, because that will not help you fall asleep. So get up, do something relaxing. Try not to put the lights on, because that will wake you up more, and then try again in 15 minutes. Any questions on that?
No, it's clear.
Thank you. If you're really struggling to sleep and you're not sure what's causing you to struggle with sleep, then you can keep a sleep diary. These are just suggested questions, so that after some time you can figure out what is it that you're doing on particular days that you can't sleep, and whether that's contributing to you having difficulties falling asleep. Do you want to go through the questions? Are you okay looking at it later on? I'm conscious of time.
Yeah.
Later on, yeah?
Yeah.
That's fine. Now, I just want to briefly talk through what is available to you. So it obviously depends on if you are a resident here, then everything is available to you. If you are not a resident, or you haven't had, for example, your asylum claim process yet and so on, then there are some limits, but all of you are entitled to have a GP, so that shouldn't be a problem. If any one of you is not registered with GP and you have a problem with that, then you can let me know and I'll try to help you. You are all entitled to emergency care, so going to emergency department if something goes wrong, that's also for free. You are also entitled to maternity care, so if you become pregnant and so on, that's for free. And obviously children's services. You're entitled to free dental care, although last time we chatted to a dentist, we all know that it's not that easy, although it is free. You have there's some cancer screening programs that are available through a GP. That's just very important to have a GP. And there are some vaccinations available to you, and sexual health services and sexual health clinics that are for free, but also anonymous. And that gives you a lot of screening for infections, but not only, they can also do contraceptions and general advice about lifestyle and so on. Now, in terms of cancer screening, for women aged 25 to 64, if you have a GP practice, then you should all be getting cervical cancer screening or smears. That generally happens every 3 years unless there's a problem. And I would, it's a very non-painful and non-invasive thing, so you should all really be going and having the screening done. They can also be done in the sexual health clinics if you don't want to go to your GP, but you need to have a GP registration because the results will be sent there. It might be quicker to go to sexual health clinic if you prefer. There is also a breast cancer screening. So that's mammography every 3 years for women aged 50 to 71. Okay, Aisha, thank you very much. We don't have much more left, I promise. We won't be much longer. So mammography above the age of 50, you should be getting an appointment through the post. Once you turn 50, your GP should be putting you on that screening. So look out for it if you haven't received it yet. And you should be doing breast self-examination every month, 1 week after your period. And if you would like to look at the website, there's actually quite good pictures on how to do a breast screening or breast self-examination. And I was thinking I'll do it with you outside of this resilience program at some point as well. We'll talk about breast cancer and examination. And then there is bowel cancer screening. That's for everyone over the age of 60. And again, that will be sent to you through the post, and it's a stool sample that you need to return to your GP. Any questions on that? No. Okay. Now, vaccinations. There are obviously the childhood vaccination that your children should be up to date with, but there are also some vaccinations for adults and for pregnant women specifically. Now, for adults over the age of 50 and some of adults who have conditions, for example, like asthma or heart problems, they should all be getting flu vaccine every year, and you should be getting an invitation to go to a GP and get a flu vaccine. If you are over 65 years, or when you are over 65 years, you should be getting a pneumonia vaccine and then later in life shingles vaccine. So that's also for your families. If you have families around with elderly people, then look out for these because they're very protective of serious illness. For pregnant women, there's flu vaccinations available and a whooping cough, which is like a chest infection vaccination available as well. Now, flu vaccine is happening every year, and it's incredibly safe, and it reduces the risk of very serious infection. And this year is particularly bad for flu. So this year it's just horrible. It's a disaster for flu. So if you are eligible, if you can get a flu vaccination and you haven't had it, then please go for it. Chico?
I actually just want to ask you, because you're obviously in the medical sector, I'm wondering, is there like a stronger flu this year? Because I had something that was so bad with a throat infection as well that lasted for quite a while. I don't know if you've heard.
Yeah, so this year's flu, it's different. It's particularly bad. There is a lot of people who are very sick. So we don't necessarily know why is it so bad this year, but we think that because we had lockdown for a very long time and we weren't exposed to viruses for 2 years or so, now it's more because your body is not immune, and that's why it's better to get the vaccination so that your body gets some exposure and some response and you're protected, basically.
And is there an age minimum to get this flu vaccine? Or?
So 50 is a minimum, unless you have some health condition like, for example, asthma, or I think even sickle cell disease, if anyone, and diabetes, some chronic lung condition and heart conditions, then you should be getting, even if you're under 50, if you're pregnant, and if you're vulnerable, essentially. And if you live with someone who is vulnerable, like, for example, with HIV or transplant or cancer, and so on. So actually, a lot of people are eligible for vaccination. Any questions about flu as well, ladies? No. Okay.
Children is free?
Yes.
Children, yeah, taking the flu jab from the school or from the pharmacy, or
So for children, they don't need to get a jab. They actually get a vaccination through the nose often. So you need to contact your GP essentially and ask what's available, and they should be able to guide you. I don't know if schools do it. I don't know whether any of you who has children in school, whether they've been offered a vaccination.
I think school sent it to me, the letter about the flu jab. That's why I just asking you. I don't know.
Did they say that they're going to do it or just recommend doing it?
No, they do it. They send me the form to fill it, and which people want to and which people don't want to.
Okay, that's good. That's good to know, actually. Thank you. Because children get vaccinated as well, and it's very effective. And this year, actually, a lot of children are affected as well, which normally is not necessarily children. So this year is a little bit different and a bit more serious, I would say. So if you can't get vaccinated, then please do. If you have any questions about vaccinations and you want to speak in private, I'm also happy to speak to you in private. Now, there is also a pneumonia vaccination that is once in a lifetime, and that's for people over 65 years old. So if you've got anyone in your family, then please get them to get vaccinated, because a lot of older people get pneumonia and it can be very severe, and they often end up in the hospital and become very unwell. Now, there's also COVID vaccination, as you know. I'm sure there's been a lot of, you've heard a lot on the media. Now, anyone could get a COVID vaccination who is aged 5 or over, and pregnant women. So up to now, all the vaccinations are very safe. There wasn't many serious side effects, so it's actually a good vaccinations to get. There are 3 available, which is Pfizer, Moderna, and Novavax, and they're very well tolerated. And you can get it either through a GP or through vaccination centres, or you can call 119. If you can't get your vaccinations through your GP, they've got translators available as well, and you can discuss that and be directed to a place where you can get your COVID vaccination. Now, the vaccination will reduce your risk of getting seriously ill or dying from COVID. So it doesn't stop you from getting it, but if you get it and when you get it, it's not going to be as bad as if you weren't vaccinated. It reduces your risk of catching it, but it doesn't stop it, and it protects about different variants. Like, you know how they were saying Omicron and Delta and this, that. So these are the different variants. So it protects against a few of them. Do you have any questions about that? No? Okay, last one. Thank you for being patient and staying. So in summary, basically, health is easy, but actually not so easy, because there's a lot of things that you need to think about, and the way we live and the society we live in, it doesn't necessarily make things easy, but we can try. And as long as you develop healthy habits, you have good friends around, you've got good friends around, and you do something active together, then you have to be there. So thank you very much for listening. If you have any questions, then please ask now.
No, thank you. It was so informative, and it will be helpful in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Shamsa. That's very much appreciated. And thank you for being patient and staying.
I'm very thankful for you, because it's good information.
Thank you, Sadia.
We think I don't know, but you
thank you so much. We appreciate.
Thank you, Jessica. I don't know if Jessica is talking to us or to a child. Okay, thank you very much then, everyone. I will stop sharing maybe my screen. Yes. Have I stopped sharing or not yet? No.
Yeah, I was saying thank you. Thank you so much. It's really.
Thank you, Jessica. It was great to have you in the group as well.
Thank you so much, Magda. That was very informative. Yeah, and if we can just keep these things in mind, especially with the exercise, because that helps both with mental and physical health. It helps on both sides as well. And then also the sleep. Sleep is important. I don't sleep well, and I know that impacts on my health, but it's just about setting some goals and trying to make it possible for us to be able to sleep, which is also looking after our mental health. Because if you're stressed or worried about things, then it's hard to relax and have a good sleep. I wanted to ask you ladies, since you're here, I've told you that we need to do a financial resilience as well to help us manage with the cost of living crisis. I want to ask you, and I'll also ask the others, would you be interested in doing this online? Only because we have so many projects and we don't have enough days to do them. And I was wondering if you would think about doing it. Maybe we can start with 20 minutes exercise, together.
Yeah.
To motivate ourselves and to be able to actually exercise, because it's easy to say I want to exercise and then the day comes and you just don't exercise. But if you know you're coming to class and everyone is going to be doing 20 minutes exercise and then a short class, I won't make it long, maybe 45 minutes, just on how we can budget, how we can improve our spending, and just other tools. Let me know what you think, if it's something that you're interested in, because when things are online, then that it's easier to get a time, even if it's in the evening or the weekend or something. So just let me know what you think. You can write me a message and let me know if you're interested in this. Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, Maureen?
Sorry, is it about the exercise?
I'm suggesting that we do financial resilience, where we'll be learning how we can manage the money we have at this difficult time. But I was suggesting we start with 20 minutes exercise. Just so that we make sure we get exercise in our day, and then we do the course, and that will be about 45 minutes.
Okay, that would be nice. Yeah. Yeah.
That will be nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Sadia?
Yes, it is nice. Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that. Maureen?
Yes, it's nice.
Speak to your doctor.
Hello, I say yes, it's nice. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm saying you need to speak to your doctor.
Okay.
And just ask them what kind of exercise is it okay for you to do, because you need to think about your own specific situation. Don't want to injure yourself. So speak to your doctor first, and then we will try and work with you on that, around that, so that you keep safe. I don't want you to end up injuring yourself.
Okay.
Do you have a good doctor?
The doctor is from the specialist doctor. They are the one that always called me to check on me. So maybe one of them, I will ask them. Yeah.
Speak to them, just say, what kind of exercise can I do? What can't I do? And then they'll give you some suggestions, because even though you're recovering, there's no doctor who will ever tell you you should not exercise at all. They will always tell you, because exercise is good for the body, but they will tell you what you can do safely. And then you can work around that. And when we're doing one thing, you can just do something else, as long as we're together. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, ma. I will ask them. Yeah.
Okay, so thanks for showing your interest in this. We'll talk more about it next week, and maybe think of a day which we can do this together. And it can even change every week, as long as we do it, as long as we exercise and do the class for 40. In total, we will try and do 1.5 hours. So if you find, I can't do on Monday, can we do on Wednesday? Then we'll do that. We can be flexible. That's the good thing with online. We can just change and decide when we're doing it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything you guys want to add? Magda?
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I think I talked enough today.
Thank you so much, doctor.
Thank you, Maureen. See you soon.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate.
Thanks.
So shall we end the meeting, ladies?
Yes, you can.
Yes, go have some lunch or whatever. You've been very patient.
Good. Thank you so much.
We will send the recording.
It is a good time.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Take care.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Ending it in 1, 2, 3.
Bye.
Oh, Magda.
Bye.
Yeah. Okay, just leave the meeting. Sorry, I can't end it because I need to speak to Magda. Bye, Sadia.
Bye, Sadia.
Okay, I'll just remove you in case you're struggling with leaving the meeting, Sadia. Okay, that went well.
Yeah, but it was so long. I didn't expect them to like.
Yeah, there was a lot of interaction, which is good.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll try to brief her next time.
No, it's good that they're interacting. It means they're not bored, so that's good. And we did ask them, and they said no, let's carry on, which is great. It doesn't, as long as the interest is there.
That's good. Thank you.
I think also we had a good turnout.
Yeah. I was a bit nervous, thinking it might not be relevant. They might be too simple, but actually, I think it was good. Yeah,
it's good, and I think it's great also that you do interactive, because I know there's a couple of people who they cannot read. So when you talk and explain and ask, and people can ask questions, then it's better, and those kind of people are included. I'm just happy it went well, and we had a really good number of people show up. I think 8 minus us, 6 or whatever. It's good. It's a good number of people to have, especially when they're engaged and interacting like that.
Yeah, no, I'm quite pleased. Thank you.
So, results of the survey. Do you mind if I stop this recording and then start it again? We can start it again just so I have what you're saying, but in a different video, because I'm going to share this. Okay, so let's stop the recording.